Hello everybody and welcome into the SFA Season 16 Transfer Portal. It is finally here, it is finally open. Welcome everybody. We just went through a bit of a Christmas break if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're not familiar, we have a fully functional transfer portal in our league. So if you do want to jump in and join, click the links in the description, join the Discord, claim a team, and you can participate. Don't skip ahead in the video, please. We haven't done a real transfer portal in over 6 months, so you might be rusty, you might not understand exactly what you're looking at, and so then you're going to be either signing players you don't really want, or you'll be a dummy and get voided and wish you would have listened to me ramble on for about 5 minutes. So just listen to it just to make sure we're all on the same page, because I will void pitches and I will not care how much you bitch and moan. So as always, this is the transfer portal. It is fully functional, so you can go after any player you see entering. Here in a couple minutes I'll go through each and every player. And how it works is it's a three-day process. So every day you'll get to pitch once, and what you'll do is you'll take a look at the PDF that's already posted in the server. It has all the players' names. You can go here to get a little bit more information. You know, you can see their height, weight, where they're from, their archetype, position, that kind of stuff. If they're redshirted, their overall, all that sort of thing. And then you can identify your targets, and you submit through the Google form. And then at the end of each day, I will post the highest bidders for each player. Now remember, there is no ideals, there's no bonuses, there's no pipelines, nothing like that. The highest dollar amount to a player, that is who they will commit to. And once somebody commits, they will not change their mind on a following day. So once somebody accepts an offer, then they're out of the transfer portal, basically, okay? So this is what a pitch looks like here. So remember, you want to be, this is going above and beyond, making sure, you know, no stones left unturned. I know everything. So for instance, Coach DC, this is day 1 of the transfer portal. I have 150,000 left. I offer 50K to this player, 50K to McBurnfinger, and 50K to Chad Barber. Now, a couple important things on your pitches. You cannot tier your pitch. So you can't say, I want to offer 150K to this guy. If he doesn't accept, then this guy. If he doesn't accept, then this guy, because then that would be no fun. People would submit a 90 person list, tier list of who they want, and then it just ruins the transfer portal. You can only submit for the amount of players that you have money for, so you can only split it up. As you can see, I went 50 50 50. You could do 75 50 and 25. You could do 100K 25 25, but then that wouldn't work because it's under the minimum. The minimum you can offer somebody is 30K. So everybody who has money in the portal does have at least 30K to get one guy. So if you have 50K, you can't split it up 25 and 25, otherwise neither pitch will work, right? You have to offer at least 30K to a player for them to sign, otherwise it will go on to the next day. If we go through the entire transfer portal and somebody offers less than 30K, they still will not sign. They'll go somewhere random for free. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you cannot offer to more players than you have transfer portal scholarships available. So once again, in the budget sheet posted in the server, everybody has how many scholarships they have and the amount of money they have left. So the vast majority of you guys only have 3 transfer portal scholarships. Some people have earned more, maybe 1 or 2 more. I think the most we have this year is 5, maybe through compensatory rewards. I haven't done those yet. We'll get more. But if you only have 3 transfer portal scholarships, you can only pitch to 3 guys at a time. And then if one of these guys signed on day 2, I could only pitch to 2 guys. Okay? So if you pitch to more people than you're allowed to pitch to, your entire pitch will be voided. If the dollar amounts do not add up, the entire pitch will be voided. And then one hot topic that everybody loves to talk about is, will I Void an entire pitch for a misspelling. I will not void the entire pitch, but if you misspell somebody's name, you will not get that player, that portion. So if I spelled Arch Manning wrong, I would take that one out, and then I would only consider these other 2 offers, if that makes sense, okay? So if you have any questions, you can check the recruiting guide for Season 16, or you can just ping me. You have 24 hours to submit from the time this form opens, so plenty of time to sort through everything and give yourself a pitch, okay? So that's really the gist and kind of the disclaimers. And now let's go through the players. So just before we get started, let me identify a couple of things for you. Like I said, at the top, it's going to show you their name, their position, if they're a freshman, sophomore, junior. Now remember, this is current year. So Inky Grimes next season is going to be a sophomore. And then this 77 overall, this is pre-progression, meaning that they are going to either progress or could regress in the progression stage a little bit later on in the off season. So just keep that in mind. But you can see he's a 6'2", 203 guy, balanced archetype, 77 overall, freshman. And then you can see the reason they're declaring every player that entered the transfer portal forcefully, so through a broken promise or me just doing it, they are going to Akron. That's always the placeholder. When you sign them, it will change, okay? If these players do not sign with anybody, a random wheel will be used to determine their destination, and it will be a CPU team. It will not be users getting free players, okay? So Inky Grimes, here's one guy. Ross Jackson, now you can see for him, he's going to FIU, so a player that is going somewhere other than Akron was a player that decided to transfer himself that is above 70 overall. So everybody below 70 overall I replaced, and I kept everybody above 70 overall. If you know traditional NCAA 14, only a handful of players 70 overall or better ever decide to transfer. Ross Jackson is one of the best. He's a wide receiver on a Clemson team that highly underperformed, so he's going to FIU if nobody picks him up. And this is all we know about him. So you can do a little bit more research. If you want to go to the roster preseason video, you definitely can. But this is all the information I'm going to give you. So DJ Satterfield hits the portal, a SFA IGR who went to Clemson. Now Clemson's fine in terms of players. I'm not killing them here. But just know, DJ Satterfield did not have the best freshman season. He's still one of the highest overall players in the portal. Jeveril Barker, SFA IGR. Once again, another forced guy here from ECU. Richard Longswallow, SFA IGR. So I really focus this season on CPU SFA players. Regardless of talent and everything, I wanted to get as many as I could. Now, Demetrius Cannon, he is the quarterback that Coach Tribe benched for Decorian Thunder, so he's entering the transfer portal. And one of the interesting things you can see here in that top left, it's flashing red shirt. So you know next season he'll be a red shirt freshman. Okay, so that's something that you can probably identify here while we're going through this. Shamik Dodson, SFA guy, he was a bust and broken promise from Coach Kennelly. Pop Heyman, broken promise. Ford Spraggins was the result of a coaching change in the spin to wheel, got him in the portal. Jesse Jester was a broken promise. Jaquez Shady, another broken promise, and he's already a redshirt freshman, so he'll be a redshirt sophomore next season. Clifford Gibson, SFA player on a CPU team. Rudy Rollins was the gem from this past year, but broken promise. He enters the portal. Patrick Reynolds, this is one of those guys that entered the portal on his own, so we have no idea how good or bad he'll be, but you can go after him. Chuck Thunderpants, another SFA IGR. Maurice Gregory, result of Jay Jetta's moving teams. Rawson Eads, Team of the Year player, result of Dave moving teams. Dalton Flake, result of Coach Nathan getting fired. Wes Youngerman, our first punter of the day. He is a result of Coach Nathan getting fired. Brad Tyson, another guy who entered on his own. So if nobody picks him up, he'll be going to NC State for Coach Airborne. Damon McCreamy, SFA player, broken promise. Chadwick Tonga, another broken promise. Another guy who's already been redshirted, so he'll be a sophomore next year. Zeng Cage, freshman from Tulsa. Sydney Swipe from Tulsa. Finn Fisher, so another quarterback here. He's already redshirted, so he'll be a sophomore next year. He buried on that depth chart. No more coach at Tulsa, so they are going to the portal. Hams McGillis, result of Coach Rosie moving. Keegan Jerky. Now, this was a broken promise, but in-game, he decided to transfer on his own, so that trumps me forcing him. Meaning, if nobody signs Keegan Jerky, he'll be going to Coach Keat over at LA Tech. Now, remember, completely free to sign anywhere he wants, so if Coach Keat wants him, he still may have to pitch to him, right? Gabe Zandra, Team of the Year guy, coming from Ball State, entering the portal. Now, this might be the best player in the portal. Brutus Meatcake, former #1 player in the class, IGR-wise, and then his freshman year, he's the Team of the Year #1 linebacker. Arguably the best linebacker in the country. Might be the top player in the portal for me. AJ Stevens, another guy who entered the portal by himself. If nobody picks him up, he'll be going to TCU. Bourbon Boozin, the 7-foot, 300-pound running back. He is our first sophomore in the portal here, so he'll be a junior next season. Okay, so now you're starting to get to those eligibility questions. You want to go after the freshmen because they have more eligibility, or do you want to go after one of these higher overall guys, like a Beef McWhatnow? He is a highly controversial player, 6'11", 300-pound wide receiver. He is entering the portal. Artie Smart, another Clemson guy getting cleaned house here, entering the portal. Will Sweeten Jr., he's an SFA player on Colorado State, enters the portal. Arden Goldsberry, SFA player on Duke. Percival Peely, result of another coaching change. This is his second time in the portal. Wyatt Germ, a Team of the Year guy in the portal. Broken promise from Coach Jarkis. And Stafford Smith, our only kicker in the portal. You can see that redshirt flash, so next season he'll be a redshirt sophomore. Kizzy Crosby, SFA guy from Memphis. Arthur Robinson, SFA player from Mississippi State. Jeffrey Cobb, SFA player from Navy. Gibby Gerbax, broken promise, #1 target on North Texas. We'll see what D-Sleep does with him. Octavius Fenster, a result of a coaching change from Jay Jettas, one of the best safeties in the portal. Nikita Sokolov, another great linebacker here from Army. Jamarcus McNutt, result of the Nathan firing. Now, this is a very interesting one because he's a pocket passer. Nathan always ran a triple option offense with him, so it would be interesting to see what you could do with him in a traditional offense because he did ball out for Rutgers anyways. Now, this one, nobody can touch. This was the result of a tamper from Colorado and Coach Moon. So if you pitch to him, it will be voided. He is going to Colorado no matter what. Do not pitch to Ari Kazuma. Sean Martin, the Yams legend, is entering the transfer portal. And I'm very interested to see where he goes. If you know anything about the Yams, which should be coming back soon for Season 3, he is our starting running back, so he can definitely do anything you ask him to. Wade Tweedy, second time being in the portal already, as Coach Uni did leave USF for Troy. Levi Kazaruni, former #1 quarterback in the SFA class, the Discord class, and he lost his starting job to Shu Okani, so he's entering the portal. Huck Hammer, another former #1 prospect, entering the portal from a dying Texas A&M team. Laszlo Spangler, SFA guy on Ball State. Malcolm Burns from Tulsa. Bob Backus, a former reward player, the first time we did the raffle player. So he is entering the portal. Very good receiving target. Kamel Farley from UAB. Ham Sol led Charlotte to, I believe, a 11-win season, is testing the portal. Coca Stout as well from Charlotte. Carlton Thorne on a very, very bad Utah team, unfortunately. He is entering the portal. Craig Jeffries II has made Vandy somewhat relevant over the last couple of years. SFA guy, he is entering the portal. And Tehu Nakamoto, SFA player from Washington. These two may be the best option quarterbacks in the country entering the portal as of right now. So I would take a hard look at both of those guys if you run an option offense. Benston Graves, SFA guy. This was a broken promise. Keon Parks, this is a very interesting one. Western Michigan has been in the dust for years. He's had some injury problems. I had a lot of high hopes for Keon Parks. I think he could really succeed somewhere that doesn't suck. So I'm really interested to see who takes a chance on him. Tobin Dashnaw, coaching change guy. DeKalen Thrust, a very good deep threat. And this is a guy who's going to have 1 year of eligibility. So the teams who are looking to make a playoff run or national championship push, or maybe even just trying to get over the hump for coaching security, if you're struggling and you need a good year, this could be a guy to pick up. He will instantly upgrade your wide receiver room. Rock Captain, middle linebacker on UCF. Fifi Hobson was Team of the Year this year. He enters the portal with 1 year of eligibility. Ferris Nesby, coming off a great year for Central Michigan. He's jumping ship. Now, he has had some injury concerns in the past, but 1 year of eligibility could definitely help somebody. Saeed Champagne, part of that national championship team, SFA player. He enters the portal with 1 year of eligibility. Jay Jones, the Yams legend, he's currently on IR. He has 1 more year of eligibility. Who is going to take him? Former Florida guy, former Akron guy, and now where will he finish up his career? Fernando Jose, brother of Jose from Marshall all those years back, enters the portal with 1 year of eligibility from Georgia. Tyrone Easley, the greatest Yams player ever. He is going into the portal with 1 year of eligibility. 6'3", 217, deep threat, big play guy. A top 5 player in the portal for me. Yes, I said it. If you want to win, you get Tyrone Easley. Jackson Arroyo, this one was leaked by McBurnfinger, but he lost the starting job in Nebraska, and then he transferred. Then he lost the starting job this past season in Minnesota. They go on a playoff run, and Tyler decides to stay from the NFL draft, so he enters with 1 year of eligibility as well. Boogie Shamar, SFA guy. Shabari O'Toole, coach leaving guy. He was instrumental in their national championship in season 16. Gage Blast, punter from Oklahoma. So we have 2 punters in the portal this year. And Uncle Boozer, he was San Diego State. He's a very highly coveted player. He's had some tough seasons at Western Michigan. See if he can go on one last run for somebody. Nico McMotors, another Charlotte guy. Toby Zumba. Now, he came into the SFA as a running back, was a converted fullback, so could be some interesting things you could do with him here. Jose Gamboa, another Charlotte guy. Eddie Wilkins, he was a former freshman All-American, lost his starting job at Arkansas State. Now, despite the overall, I think he could have a really impactful year for somebody. Remember, a lot of these players have been very impactful regardless of their overall, so this could be a steal for somebody. Javi Santana, another guy on that sinking ship from Utah. And another former one prospect, Kira Streaker, the ultimate deep threat, 1 year of eligibility. Who is going to take a chance on him? 99 speed. Maxidro Sue was a freshman All-American, was Team of the Year. He had a down year, I think, this past season, but he enters the portal with 1 year of eligibility. Same with Maurice Zirkelbach, another guy on that Arkansas State team that's kind of getting gutted here. And Jonell Rivers, he was on Virginia Tech. Then he moved to Tulsa. He's looking for his third team. He's led the SFA in rushing 2 different years. Or at least was like top 5 2 different years. I think he had some injuries that kind of stopped him from being number 1. Andrew G, an SFA player, was always buried on this team, this bad team. See if he can help somebody depth-wise somewhere else. Joel Peppercorn, a quiet Wisconsin tight end. He's been Team of the Year before. He always produces. So he gets 1 year of eligibility. And Wandale Hootie. This one was an unexpected one, as Coach Uni is taking 5-star quarterback Cleet Peppers over to Troy. So Wandale Hootie is going to test the waters. He wants to start somewhere for one last ride. Remember, all this is before progression. Laz Palmer, one of the best wide receivers in the portal, enters because of a coaching change. Incredible talent, always makes plays on game day and BearCave, which is a much needed talent, a proven guy. And this is probably the best player to enter from the game's perspective. So if nobody picks him up, he'll be going to Duke. But SFA player Zach Thrasher from Alabama. Cade McKinstry, SFA IGR from Nebraska, entered on his own accord. He will go to New Mexico and coach Chumtoad if nobody picks him up. Chase Smith, another guy that the game decided he'll be going to Bama if nobody picks him up. Harry Jones from the Raging Cajuns, freshman guy. Very, very good tight end class this season. He'll be going to Tulane and Coach Maddox if nobody picks him up. And Jerry Johnson, Syracuse guy, transferring out on his own accord, going to Coach Skyflyer here if nobody picks him up. And that is the full transfer portal here. So 93 players, one guy you can't pitch to, so 92 opportunities. I'll just scroll back up through one last time in case you missed anything. They're in order though. Remember, you want to look at overall, you want to look at archetype, you want to look at eligibility. All those things are going to be very impactful. And let's see what happens, folks. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you after day 1.